The trustee
Sir,
of
you
the account.
need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop, or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. All right,
It's
Missy,
false
I
imprisonment.
want you to stop talking, or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight? The second
No, I also have a right to understand the nation's
Sir.
cause of this. I have a right to understand the
All
nation's
right. If
cause.
you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail.
I'm
Well,
not
that's
being
why an
disruptive. I'm
attorney
just
can
trying to
go.
understand the nature and cause of the
All right,
charges.
officers, I'm gonna
What
close
am
it
I
in
doing? I'm
case
sitting here trying to understand the charge.
if he gives any more grief.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
I can already feel the tension building with Joe Webster, like you can literally watch the patience drain from her face in real time, because this sovereign citizen genuinely thinks that tossing together a word salad about freedom and jurisdiction is somehow going to get him out of this mess. Spoiler alert, it won't, since the law is actually pretty clear, at least to me, that if you're driving without insurance or a valid license you're breaking the rules, and no made-up legal mumbo-jumbo is going to change that. And honestly, I truly believe these people are mentally unhinged. Like, how do you even reach a point where you think you're above the law? There has to be something seriously wrong internally with these people, and I'm genuinely curious where they're even getting this information from, because I kind of want to go look into it myself. Like, is it on YouTube or something? Because there are just way too many of these people out here. But hang on, because this idiot is about to take things up a notch and start getting aggressive with the judge, so let's go ahead and dive back in.
Mr. Johnson, appearing in person and pro se. Your name tag on your uniform says Johnson, so I presume you are Mr. Johnson. Now, sir, if you could get right in front of that microphone, thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Sir,
Yes.
you're charged in count 1 with speeding 82 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. That is a traffic infraction. It is not a charge that carries any jail time. It has a scheduled fine. 82 and a 65 is $87, but then there's also 108 court costs. In count 2, you're accused of operating your motor vehicle without proof of insurance. Now, if you had insurance but just couldn't find it, you can get the proof to the county attorney and she'll probably dismiss that charge. If, in fact, it had lapsed or something was happening so that you didn't have insurance on the vehicle at the time being January 4th, 2024, that is a B misdemeanor. The maximum penalties as far as jail time would be 6 months, although probation is usually granted. There is a mandatory minimum fine the court must impose of $300, but it could be as high as $1,000. You do have the right to hire any attorney of your choice. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for court appointed. You can waive your right to counsel and represent yourself. Another option, you might be able to apply for diversion. That is where you apply, and if the county attorney approves you for diversion, you would pay agreed upon fines, costs, get your insurance current, and pay a diversion fee, and she'd dismiss the charges and keep them off your record. If you want to talk about diversion or anything else with your attorney, you certainly will have the opportunity to do that. Your pleas, you have a choice of pleas. You can plead not guilty and we can set this for trial at a later date. You can plead guilty, admitting the charge, and we would proceed with sentencing. Or you could plead no contest, which is neither admitting nor denying the charges, but you'd still most likely be found guilty and we'd proceed to sentencing. If you want to look into diversion, we'll enter a not guilty plea to give you time to do that. You can always change your plea, but once you're convicted, pre-trial diversion is off the table. So
probably not eligible for diversion based on his driving record.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to talk to an attorney then and discuss whether or not you have a defense? Or?
No, Your Honor, I would like to request a declaratory judgment due to there is no agreement for my performance under any agreement or commission of this court.
Well, I don't need an agreement from you, sir. So if I were,
Well, Your Honor, I simply do not understand the nature and cause of the accusation with regard to the jurisdiction of the venue and nature of this action until the prosecutor properly alleges them there. I cannot enter a plea to the charge until I have the opportunity to raise a meaningful defense on my behalf.
Alright guys, today we're looking at one of the dumbest sovereign citizens we've ever featured on this channel, because this idiot is in court over not having valid insurance and for speeding, yet somehow he treats the whole thing like it's a joke, even though he's potentially facing jail time, and he's out here arguing with the judge like they're buddies debating who gets the last slice of pizza. Like bro, this isn't a frat house, it's a courtroom, so let me know what you all think about this. Guy, do you think he's mentally ill or just completely clueless? And also tell me whether you think the judge handled this situation like a total pro, because this dude loves throwing out non-stop word salad, so brace yourselves for that. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in.
all right, I will then, since you cannot enter a plea today, I will enter a not guilty plea for you and give you
I
time.
object, Your Honor. I object to you entering a plea to me because I must understand the nature and cause of these accusations. So I do not agree to you entering a plea on my behalf.
Well, your position is taken and I'm still going to do it. I will note your objection for the record, but I'm going to enter a not guilty plea.
Well, I object to you
Your
entering a plea on
objection
my
is
behalf.
noted. Your objection is noted, and if the time comes, you can appeal that to the Court of Appeals. Now, on the issue
Well,
of
who is,
attorney,
Your Honor, I would like to ask, who bring these charges against me? I should have the right to
all
question.
right, we're not going to have this debate right now. I've told you your charges. I've told you the state of Kansas has filed those through its attorney, Jill Gillette. Now,
Well, I would like to
okay,
call
I'm
the
going
state to the, I would like to call the state to the stand, Your Honor.
We're
The
not doing that,
state bringing
sir.
charges against me. Who is it? How did I injure the state?
All right, this is your first appearance. I advise you of your rights. I advise you of your charges and possible.
Your Honor,
penalties.
I object to the proceeding, for I do not know the nature and cause of the
I'm
proceeding.
entering a not guilty plea. Missy, when is?
I object to you entering I object to you entering a plea on my behalf. I do not grant you that right.
Missy?
The court date,
You're supposed to act as a trustee.
Sir, you
Now,
need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. Missy?
well, Your Honor, I would like to also bring to
September
according to
27th.
USC 12203.
Deputy Miles.
And also
could you,
Article 3, the judge must operate in good behavior and good behavior. So therefore, if you're making a threat towards me, then
Deputy,
that's
if he's going to
urging
keep
me
being
perform in your
contentious, I'm going to
court.
have you take him into custody on contempt.
Then that would be illegal search and seizures, Your Honor.
Wouldn't you need to go back?
It will.
All right,
It's
Missy.
false
I
imprisonment.
want you to stop talking or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight?
Your Honor, again, Title
Deputy
40
Miles, could you come in and
USC
assist the defendant?
September 27th at 9 o'clock will be the court date.
September 27th, you said 9 o'clock?
Yes.
9 a.m. You must be back here, sir, in person at the courthouse, or you will be arrested for failure to come to court.
Your Honor.
Now, that deputy there is going to take you into custody if you cannot control yourself through the remainder of this hearing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just enforcing my right, Your Honor.
All right, so your first right is to have a hearing date, and that is September 27th, 9 a.m. The
Your
second
Honor, I
right,
also have a right to understand the nature and
Sir.
cause of this.
This dude seriously cannot take a hint, can he? Because if I were the judge I would have slapped him with 30 days for contempt without even thinking twice, so huge props to Judge Webster for holding it together, since let's be real, most of us would have muted this clown or had him in cuffs already. And here's the thing, when this sovereign citizen starts claiming he has a right to know the nature of the charges, He's not technically wrong because that's literally a cornerstone of due process under the Sixth Amendment, but the judge explained the charges multiple times and this guy just doesn't listen at all. Instead he acts like the judge is running some shady secret trial, which is honestly weird, but at this point it's not even about knowing the law anymore, it's about being so stubborn that even a clear explanation feels like an attack. So the real question is how much patience this judge actually has, and we're about to find out.
I have a right to understand the
All
nature
right.
of the cause.
If you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail. Do you want to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed?
No, I do not. I don't need to hire an attorney, Your Honor.
You want to represent yourself?
I don't need to hire an attorney. I would like for you as the judge, Your Honor, to explain to me the nature and cause of the.
All right, I'm not going to appoint an attorney if you don't want me to. If you want, you said you don't want to hire an attorney. If you want to apply for court appointed, the officers have forms there that you can fill out. If
I
you
just
don't
want to
fill them
understand the
out,
nature
I'm
and
going-
cause.
If you don't want to fill one out, I'm going to assume you don't want an attorney. And then if you come to court September 27th at 9 a.m., you're going to be representing yourself if you don't hire or apply for court appointed. And so you've got the third issue. Does he have a bond? Looks like you do because you failed to appear February 27th at your first appearance. So bench warrant was issued, bond was set at $1,000 cash for professional surety. Looks like that was posted. Looks like you made a cash bond of $1,000. Does that sound right? You put up $1,000 cash back in July 12th?
I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of this allegation, Your Honor.
I will continue your bond unless you get yourself hauled into jail on contempt before you leave. I will continue your bond with the condition that you reappear here in person at September 27th at 9 a.m. So you've got your court date, you've got your bond, and we've talked about your lawyer. Now, you're wearing a U.S. Army uniform with the name Johnson on it. Are you in or have you been in the United States military?
Your Honor, I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of the allegation, Your Honor.
All right. If you can leave the courthouse now without any further disruption, I will let you do so. But I'm going to have those officers escort you to make sure you do so. So, Ms. Gillette, anything further?
Your Honor, it is your oath to explain the nature and cause of the allegation against me. Are you failing to do that?
All right. You can either walk out the front door with the officers, or you can walk upstairs to the county jail with the officers.
Let me know in the comments if you think this guy is going to spend the night in jail or finally shut his trap and leave the building like the judge asked him to, because at this point it honestly could go either way, and he seriously has a choice here, which makes it even more confusing why he's not listening. Like, this dude has absolutely no common sense. The judge has given him so many warnings that it's practically her begging him to just cooperate, but nope, he's glued to his little script. Like it's somehow going to magically save him. And here's a fun fact, this dude was literally in the army, which is straight up government property. So how does that even work? Because I have no idea how someone acting like this ever made it into the military when we all know that kind of nonsense does not fly there. And honestly, I'm starting to wonder if this guy has some kind of mental illness or something, because there's just no way this dude is real. Like, is he on drugs or something? Because I genuinely cannot put this one together. So let's dive back in.
The choice is yours. Either leave.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
Or leave disruptively.
I'm not being disruptive. I'm just trying to understand the nature and cause of the charge.
All right, officers. I'm gonna close.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the charge.
If he gives any more grief.
All I'm asking is to understand the charges. This is for the record. You said it's for the record, so I'm trying to understand what am I being charged?
The charges. Goodbye, sir.
I just want to understand the nature and cause of the charges, Your Honor. That's all I ask. It is your oath to get that.
With you. If you tell me what kind of questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them, but I've already told you.
Okay, under what jurisdiction is these charges being brought to me under?
The state of Kansas has charged you with speeding 82 and a 65 and operating in a motor vehicle without liability insurance on January 4th, 2024 in Greenwood County, Kansas. You failed to appear for your first appearance and a bench warrant was issued and you were arrested and you made a bond of 1,000 cash or surety, posting a cash bond. Now you have to go to court and you have to answer those charges. You can
Your Honor, I
have
know.
a trial if you like, and the burden will be on the state of Kansas to either prove or disprove. If they can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, you're let go.
Well, I'm still trying to understand under what jurisdiction am I being charged under, Your Honor? That's all I'm trying to understand.
You're being charged under the jurisdiction of the state of Kansas under its criminal.
But according to the Constitution, there are only two
All right,
jurisdictions.
we'll have that on a later date. We'll be at recess, officers. Please escort him one way or the other, depending on his behavior.
But I'm still not understanding what you're charging me with.
Goodbye. We are adjourned.
But if she's the judge, I'm supposed to have clear and concise of what I'm being charged with.
The judge just said if you give us any problems with it.
I'm not giving y'all a problem. I'm trying to.
So you have to put you in handcuffs and
Well, I'm waiting on this, Your Honor, to explain.
All right, Missy.
But that's it.
That's our last case on the docket, isn't it?
This is not good.
Yes.
All right. All right. Ms. Gillette, I'll see you at 3:30 docket.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
All right. Well,
Can I go home?
I left it up to them and I left it up to you and then they were to behave accordingly.
Let me know in the comments if you think this guy is going to spend the night in jail or finally shut his trap and leave the building like the judge asked him to, because at this point it honestly could go either way, and he seriously has a choice here, which makes it even more confusing why he's not listening. Like, this dude has absolutely no common sense. The judge has given him so many warnings that it's practically her begging him to just cooperate, but nope, he's glued to his little script. Like it's somehow going to magically save him. And here's a fun fact, this dude was literally in the army, which is straight up government property, so how does that even work? Because I have no idea how someone acting like this ever made it into the military when we all know that kind of nonsense does not fly there. And honestly, I'm starting to wonder if this guy has some kind of mental illness or something, because there's just no way this dude is real. Like, is he on drugs or something? Because I genuinely cannot put this one together, so let's dive back in.